Hello, everyone. Welcome to Jesus Christ, part 27. Alright. Okay, recording. Yep. The hallway is empty, almost intimidating. Nomia's office is the art classroom at the other end of the third floor hallway. Our steps echo disturbingly. The atmosphere is unlike on a normal afternoon. It feels like the school knows that nobody will be coming back for a month, too. The door is open, but not very inviting. I'll wait outside. Nodding barely noticeably, Rin strides in without stopping, and naturally without knocking. Maybe that's why it takes a few seconds before I hear the teacher's voice from inside. There you are! Hello. A conflict arises. Should I stay here or go somewhere else? I'm not sure if I even want to eavesdrop on them. Manners lose the curiosity, and so I stay close enough to listen in. The voices echo in the hallway, but no matter. There's nobody around, save for me. Dear girl, what on earth were you thinking? Leaving like that on the big night? I couldn't say anything. Compared to Nomia's scolding tone, Rin sounds awfully quiet and withdrawn. Her words seem to drown under his. I have to say I'm very disappointed in you, Tezuka. It was no good at all. Never mind all the things I did for you, but what about Sai? What about all the guests who wanted to meet you? There was nobody, even Hizao. You have embarrassed us very badly, Tezuka. Reputation is what counts. Surely you know that. It's alright, I don't need it. Don't need? What do you think What do you think you know? Rin's replies only seem to agitate the teacher even more, his voice rising with every sentence. The path of an artist is a thorny one, I'll tell you that. Thorny. You have to see the big picture. There will be bad times and good times. Things are like they are. It'll be right even. You might not. You might now think that it's oh so wonderful and easy, but how far would you have gotten without me? I won't always be there for you. Even when you lie on the floor in your own minuscule room, you went 3 weeks late, your mind blanked for the fourth week straight. When then you will wish you had listened to old Nomia a bit more. Nomia, I think you're projecting a bit. When you keep up measuring how the shadow of your chair becomes longer over the spring because that's all your lethargy allows, maybe that's when you'll start caring about your career. That doesn't matter. Your resolve is not enough. I am not a resolved person. You are not a resolved person. Then tell me why. Why? Why did we go through all of this trouble if it amounts to a mosquito shit? Oh dear. The teacher blew a fuse. Him yelling at Rin makes me feel bystander's guilt. If I had gone with her, maybe he wouldn't have gotten so angry. If I had not let her run away, he wouldn't have gotten angry in the first place. I could still go and save her. I don't think I can. I was the same. I yell at Rin too. I'm feeling all the more embarrassed about it now. I felt justified to vent my anger at her face just because I felt like it was her fault that I was so frustrated. I was no more justified than the teacher is. A terrible silence sets upon the hallway. Rin does not have anything to say to Nomiya. Whether she has run out of answers, or she knows that arguing would only make him angrier is anyone's guess. The teacher has nothing more to say either, it seems, or maybe he just ran out of breath. For a moment, I imagined the two of them just staring at each other, one full of red-hot anger, and the other full of... Yes. What? I can't tell how Rin feels. Not before, not now. The teacher seems to expect Rin to say something too, but since she doesn't, he finally continues in a quieter, but not less angry voice. What worth is there in doing so much work if the outcome is nothing? Still, Rin will not say anything. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gotten so excited. He does not sound sorry at all. Rather, his tone is cold and sharp, like he was spitting the words out of his mouth. It seems that I was expecting too much. You are not an artist, after all. Yeah, not sorry at all. He storms out of the club room and down the stairs without noticing me. After he is gone, I peek carefully inside the classroom. Rin is left standing there, in front of the teacher's desk. I couldn't say I am sorry. She says it into the humid air of the classroom, not to me. But since the room won't answer her, I will have to. That was unfair of him. He was angry, but still. I can't decide on how to end my sentence. Disdaining the teacher feels like disdaining my own behavior from 2 days ago. Stupid, but correct in hindsight. Rin won't answer, staying petrified where she stands, so I walk up to her. She stood up for herself. In a way, I didn't expect that. I can't determine whether it's unbecoming or not, but either way, she did it. Against me, she never did. I sort of wish she had. Maybe I would not feel this bad then. Lately, it seems that I've been wishing for all kinds of things. Rin? Go away. Why? What are you saying? You're angry with me too, right? I thought you were my friend. I thought he was too. Her voice is unlike I've ever heard it. It's bitter, sharp like needles, and she keeps staring pointedly at her toes. I don't think it's about that. He wanted you to become something you are not, and... I take a deep breath and finally catch her eyes in my own, locking our gazes. I'm sorry. I wanted us to be something else too. More than friends. Maybe that's why I couldn't contain myself and became so frustrated, just like the teacher did. What more? There's nothing more to me than me. That's all I am. I don't understand that. Well, the answer should be obvious, right? I remember thinking of the purpose of friendship, to put up with everything and anything to be there for your friend. Did I fail as a friend? Thinking it could be a stepping stone for something else? Maybe because of those thoughts? I didn't manage to put up with things to keep it together. As outrageous as Rin is and was, I shouldn't have let myself get caught into that, especially when I started feeling the way I did towards her. So, did I fail? That's what her eyes seemed to ask. I'm sorry, Rin. I might not be able to be your friend. I don't think I could ever be a good friend to you. I say these things because they are true. Not because one of us would like to hear them. But they are something that must be said. The finality of my words creates a shaking silence. For what could either of us add to that? Why does all of this happen? People are doing things I don't ask for and don't want, and everyone keeps getting angry at me, and I have no idea what's going on anymore. And I can't stop feeling like I want to run away from everything. She shuts her eyes tight and breathes out deeply, calmly. When the eyelids open, all I can see is dark green desperation. I have no idea what's wrong with me. Her frenetic outburst stupefies me for a moment, and for a heartbeat we just gaze into each other's face. Seeing her confused eyes desperately looking for answers from mine only makes me sad because I know I have none. I don't know either. But you know, you yourself said things are not right nor wrong. They just are. You either accept them, work to change them, or give up. It's not that I hate you or that teacher Nomiya does. I just think that I'm the kind of person who gives up when he feels he can't go on. And even if you hate it, this is how things are. I'm saying pretty cool things, but I can't stop myself. The words keep rolling off my tongue with slow, hard certainty. I can see them hitting Rin almost like physical blows. As the wetness gathers into the corners of her eyes, they are still wide with the shock of rejection. As the tears start rolling down her pale cheeks, she does nothing to stop them. As they fall down on the floor one by one, she stands still, staring at me with a gaze full of hollow disbelief. But reality catches up. Rin slumps forward as if she was deflating and buries her face as deep in my shirt as she can. Rin is heavy and feather-light when I support her weight. She doesn't really sob or bawl, she just leans against me, letting her tears burn through my shirt and into the skin underneath. And I let her, bringing my hand around her shoulders in a clumsy hug that does no good to comfort her. I can feel Rin's vertebrae against my fingertips, like hard and jagged reminders of how messed up things are. Her slim shoulder Quivering against my palm is a pitiable sight, and the hopelessness of being part of the cause of Rin's sadness keeps shredding my heart. To make a girl cry is the most despicable thing to do. Even Rin. Especially Rin. Behind that veil of aloofness, Rin is just a human being too. Just as confused, scared, and lost as any of us is. Most of the time, it seems there's no rhyme or reason for what Rin says, but for once, I think I really understand how she feels. But no words can express it, and no words can make it better. So wordless we stay, quietly waiting for her tears to run out. Time passes agonizingly slowly. Even the lazy specks of dust floating around in the air seem to pause into a standstill. The obligatory wall clock is clicking distractingly from above the door. I decide against counting the seconds because it would make them feel longer. Eventually Rin stirs a little, and still smothering herself against my chest, mutters into my shirt. "Let me be here for a while. Please, Sasao. Just give me a little while." A soothing deluge spreads into my consciousness, the knowledge that while being here for Rin is all I can do for her, that's all she wants right now, even after all we've gone through. Sure. So she stays there, but I still can't bring myself to draw her closer, so I could embrace her properly. It's because doing it would make me so sad that I don't know if I could bear it. The realization that we might never really be able to come up with to become what we want to be for the other crystallizes into my mind as a diamond-hard enlightenment. A pang surges through my heart like an electric shock. It's painful. This clarity hurts. What can we be for each other? What meaning is there for us to desperately cling to each other even though it seems so futile? What should I say to Rin? How can I make her feel better? I don't know any of those things, and I fear knowing them would only hurt more. Forcefully, I push all of that out of my mind because I don't want to be thinking of hurtful truths. My thoughts calm down soon enough. The sadness disperses until all that's left is me and Rin, and the tender feeling of her warmth and softness against my chest. When did I fall in love with her? I can't remember, but I'm certain it was this way before the warm touch of her lips on my own, and that orange-colored afternoon when she was sick with cold and I went to see her because of unclear reasons. Her carefree attitude, the air of otherness around her, all the things that make Rin herself. Those things captured me with irresistible force. The way she could take in anything and everything, giving it only the value she herself placed, weighing all things fairly and without prejudice, seeing the world as she wanted. This is something I can never do. And Rin was probably more of a muse to me than anything ever was to her. She seemed so free to me, truly a free spirit, while I, constantly worrying about everything, seemed so inhibited that it was almost embarrassing. Maybe that's why I latched on so tightly to Rin, trying to get inside her world that was so different from my own bleak life. Before I noticed it, that irresistible force had pulled me dangerously close to her. But it turned out to be way too alien for me. I had forgotten Newton of all things. The gravitational force is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the objects. So if two people feel something for each other, even though feelings are not governed by the constants of the universe, I can't help thinking that for some time now, I've been a satellite to Rin's brightly shining planet. Planet Rin. The thought makes me almost laugh. She really does seem to be from another planet at times, minus green skin and possibly some tentacles. Perhaps, because of my stifled laughter, Rin pulls away and I let go. Feeling the cold when her warmth goes away, and slight embarrassment for letting my thoughts run wild like that. I credit that as Rin being a bad influence on me, while being glad at the same time that she can't read thoughts for real. Rin's bitter tears have dried up, and she looks a little more like herself again. The lost look in her eyes is still there though. Her gaze wanders around restlessly before stopping at me. What happened just now? Can you tell me? What? What do you mean? I cried. She says that hesitantly, as if not believing it herself. Yes? She keeps staring at me, as if pleading guidance so that she wouldn't have to feel so lost. Why? You were sad. Is that what you want me to say? But isn't that obvious? I don't know. It feels weird to cry. What? I don't believe it. I mean, everyone does that. It's norm... I bite my tongue before I finish my argument about normality. Norms do not apply to the person I'm talking to. It always felt so wrong. Different from what is in me. Like, I couldn't really tell what I felt. So I started thinking that maybe I don't know what I'm feeling. Maybe it's me who's wrong. I thought those sort of things. I thought that painting was enough because it felt like that I did at least that right. That all that is inside me could become a picture if I tried really hard, and it could. But it doesn't feel like it's enough anymore. Because if nobody else can see that, I will still be alone. I was wrong to try. Everyone got so angry at me for that. I've rarely heard Rin say this much at once before. Once she finishes, she simply shuts up, looking so neutral that it's hard to believe she just said what she said. I don't know what to think. Rin was desperate for someone to look at her paintings and somehow see right through them into her soul, to understand her feelings, because she felt she could not express them in any other way. How could one say whether or not that is right or wrong? Could this be that all this time she's been trying to reach out to me like I've tried to reach out to her? I sit down on a desk to think, and to rest my legs that keep us both standing for a long while. You know, when I read a good book or look at the starry sky or whatever, sometimes I too feel something profound, like, shoot, I don't know how to describe it. But the instant I try to put it into words, I feel that I lose something. It doesn't feel as real, as true as it did inside my head. It feels a bit phony. Damn, what I just said just felt phony. I offer her a smile that is meant to be between funny and self-deprecating, but Rin doesn't react. Anyway, it might be that nobody can ever express their true feelings so that others understand. Reality has no chance of living up to what someone has inside their head. Nothing can match that, not even your paintings, except maybe for you. But I suppose you can't keep everything inside. You'd explode for real then. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think it's wrong to express your feelings, even if you use painting as your conduit. You just can't expect people to understand you any better than they would if you did it any other way. In fact, you can't expect people to understand you at all. It's because everything is so objective. You see the world the way you do, but it's different from everyone else. But isn't that terrible? I guess it is in a way. She frowns, looking probably as stricken as she can, which is not much, but it's enough for me to understand that Rin is not particularly happy. I think it might make me sad after all. Yeah, I know. I wish I could do something to help it. I don't think I sound bitter, even though I am a little. This is my problem. I cannot be what Rin wants for her, and for the same reason, she can't do the same for me either. She makes a difficult face, carefully trying to pick the words she wants to say. So Rin has times when it's hard to say anything too. It can't be helped, I think. But if you say that, it makes me feel a little better. It's funny how some seemingly irrelevant things are the most significant ones at times like this. Like how Rin's voice is a very, very small, barely audible when she says that. And how even her short bangs can cover her eyes when she looks downwards. And now, they can't cover the deep red color rising on her cheeks, and all the way to the tips of her ears. They turn into a very interesting shade of red. A deafening silence follows. It's very awkward, as if I saw something that wasn't meant to be seen, even if it wasn't on purpose. I don't know what to say to that, but I keep feeling like I should know. She doesn't either. Still, It feels like there's no momentum to lose even if we keep silent. Like we have some weird, wordless connection that would hold even so. Rin keeps shifting her weight from one foot to the other, restlessly, looking everywhere around the room except at me. She's the one who finally breaks the spell. Can we go? I don't want to stay here. Oh, yeah. Of course, where? My reply is covering my nervousness as badly as her question is covering hers. You can go whenever you like. I want to sleep. I haven't really slept for a few weeks. It feels like there's a flock of light blue butterflies inside my head. It makes it hard to think properly. The kind that you think is too blue to really exist, like... Jesus Christ. Like Emmy's panties this morning. She shakes her head, and I almost expect a couple of ultramarine colored morphos to pop out of her ears. A small smile tugs upwards, the corners of her mouth. That reminds me, the blue, not the panthers. The word for a flock of butterflies is a swarm. I looked it up. Oh yeah, that's right. That was a part of the discussion at the beginning of this route. Okay. See, I am somewhat paying attention. That makes my eyebrow rise into a questioning arch. Why don't you use it then? I like the other word better. Why look it up in the first place then? Then you should use it, right? She nods and falls silent, her gaze escaping mine to the side, attracted by the dark orange sunlight refracting from the windows. I tried to say reflecting and refracting at the same time. It did not work. We stay like that for a long while. Me silently looking at her, silently looking out of the window. Just checking on something real quick. Okay. Hey, are you alright now? She glances at me from the corner of her eye, looking wistful again. The sunlight reflection doesn't betray any more of her inner feelings. I'll need to think about that. I want to continue this conversation, grasping at those straws that she finally revealed to even exist. But Rin is looking out of the window so absent-mindedly that I know she won't be responsive in any way that would make sense. It's like some kind of defense mechanism of hers to avoid being sensible. Her mind is like a butterfly in itself, always fluttering somewhere away whenever it's scared. Just when I thought I could see behind her veil, she jumps out of my reach again. Maybe that's just how Rin is. Maybe that's something I should just accept to get some peace of mind. Okay. I'll walk you back to the dorms then. Thanks. Really. The empty hallways of the school devoid of its students feel very lonely. Less than 1 hour after the summer vacation began, the building seems to be deserted, and all that intrudes upon the stillness of the hallways are our footsteps. The change is sudden, but it shows how the building is just an empty shell, dead without its students and teachers. It's as though the school has become a private world for only the two of us, a desolate place filled with silence and chalk dust. I think I have to change. She says it out of the blue while we walk down the staircase from the 3rd floor, still managing to feel like she's mirroring what I was thinking just before. That's what people must do sometimes. That's the last thing we say to each other that day, even though there would be so much more to talk about. And even those words drown in the all-encompassing silence, disappearing into the stagnant air as if they were never said. I don't know, maybe I should just, like, stand up the entire time and, like, carry around the microphone. Hold on. Okay. Just making sure. I remember the... Alright, so... Wait, wrong, that's OBS. Katawa Shoujo. Current scene without breathing, without a sound. Huh. Okay. Alright. The first day of summer vacation is a disappointment. I woke up water came down from the leaden sky in biblical proportions. I was optimistic at the time. A quick summer shower, I thought. Torrents of rain for a few minutes, then it's gone. No such luck. Rainwater is relentlessly pouring down from the blue-gray sky outside, streaming down the glass of my window in small brooks and rivers, and gathering together to form miniature ponds on the walkways. Just like it has done for the past 2.5 hours. So I've been half-assedly cleaning up in between half-assedly reading a book, packing my stuff on the side when I get bored of the first two. The weather drags my spirits pretty down too, making it harder to do anything properly. Something bumping quite loudly against my door rouses me from my apathy. I hope it's not Kenji and its crazy indoors bowling alley. I hear no more sounds from the corridor until I walk to the door and open it. Rin. I wish seeing her would evoke some more emotion in me, but for one, I'm too surprised that she came here to see me, and for two, she is soaking wet. Her uniform shirt is drenched and she's standing in a self-created puddle. Droplets of rainwater are dripping down from her short bangs and sliding down her nose until they fall down from the tip. One by one. Hi? How are you feeling? Medium normal. The relative questionability of her statement aside, she sure doesn't look too good. You're all wet. It's because I come from outside, do you know it? Why'd you be outside? It's raining buckets out there, if you hadn't noticed. I haven't. It's raining pretty hard, though. I was on a walk. Is this what you call wallowing in self-pity? Do you think I'm pitiful? No, I implied that I think you are. I'm not, and the rain is not a sad thing. Don't you ever walk in the rain? I do, but only with proper equipment, like an umbrella. You just need to imagine that you have a blue umbrella with white stripes. That it might be tough when rain is falling on my head. Just imagine harder. Yeah, she definitely is back to normal. Those half-sarcastic and considerate remarks that really push my buttons, even though she doesn't mean it. Just that vacant, spaced-out stare that always expects more than it gives. It's so very much like her. I may need to come in. I need some help with this water and clothes I'm wearing. My brain quickly solves this equation, and I stumble with my words. A stark display of contrast against Rin's easygoing self-invitation. But Emmy? Rin shakes her head vehemently, causing water to sprinkle everywhere. She left. Besides, she would just worry and fuss until she could not worry or fuss anymore, which always takes a troublesomely long time. It's in fact longer than I want to hear her fussing, and I thought you were probably not the fussing kind. She slumps down on my desk with a squishy sound. Her soaked clothes are making the desk and everything on it wet, but she doesn't care. Okay, fine, I'll help you out. I have a towel somewhere. Do you want dry clothes? Is the uniform fine? I'm taller than you, but everything is fine. With a little searching, I find a fresh uniform and a fluffy towel from the depths of my closet. The towel in one hand and the uniform in the other, I turn to face Rin again, uncertain of the next step. What the... I think I did that accidentally, hold on. There's something wrong with me. A normal guy would just stop worrying, it's not a problem. She probably could see right through my hesitant demeanor. Actually, 14 hours, okay. As if I was completely transparent to her, I push my anxiety away and concentrate on the 8 buttons lined in her shirt, just like mine has. Bar-bar, 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 bar-bar. Present. Oh, do I need to click? Okay, present. Present is a fleeting and vague concept at best. The moments between the past and the future? That doesn't really mean anything. Thinking too much about things that don't make sense is a waste of time. That's why living through the present is always the best option. Besides, for two of us who can't foresee the future, and who will forget the past too easily? Present is really the only proof of our existence. Even though existence will go on even if you forget about it for a while, it's good to seize the day at least every once in a while. That way, you can confirm that you are in fact alive. I'm pretty sure that girl who is standing there half naked staring out the window of my room has a much better grasp of present than I do. As for me, well, right now, I'm somewhat confused by my present state, since I should try to locate my shirt and not stare at Rin's butt. But I can't stop looking at her. She's so close to the glass that her nose is probably going to leave a mark. At least her breathing does, when it condenses on the rain-cooled window glass before quickly disappearing again. My shuffling around to get dressed doesn't rouse Rin from her contemplation. Okay, just making sure. So yeah, my monitor had like a weird thing again. I might need to like make sure like my monitor isn't like broken or something. Anyways, my shuffling around to get dressed doesn't rouse Rin from her contemplation, which is fine really. I don't mind the silences as much as I used to. Only after I'm almost finished with buttoning up my shirt does Rin say something, still without turning to look at me. Let's go somewhere. Where? I can only assume she's inviting me and not the windowsill, but that's a fair guess. I know. What? Help me get dressed. I think today is the day. Come on. Clothes. Clothes, clothes, what an impatient tone. Come on, you got it off just fine. Come on, you got it off just fine. This is just the same with the other way around. It's like talking backwards. I am not going to say that. Perplexed by her sudden and prodigious display of mental processing capability, I forget to attempt reversing her gibberish back. I'm pretty sure I couldn't switch to talking backwards that fluidly, even with some practice. Could you repeat that? Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Got it, fine, I'll give it a try. Rin launches towards the door, even though her shirt is not even buttoned up all the way yet. Left with little choice, I run after her. As soon as I realize that we were heading for the side entrance leading to the forest, I think I know where Rin wanted to go. Although, I couldn't say why she'd want to go there. Then again, I can't really assume my guesses to be anywhere near correct when Rin is concerned. Not even for a quite generous definition of correct. The forest behind the wall smells of rain. The last raindrops are still dripping from the wet undergrowth into the earth, despite rain being gone for a while already. We stroll along with an unhurried pace that Rin sets, giving me time to take in the calming atmosphere. I think I can hear Rin saying hello to at least 3 different trees while she walks past them, but I ignore it, just like the trees do. She leads me to the narrow side path, leading up to the hilltops as I guessed. I peek through the canopy, trying to find a rainbow, but there doesn't seem to be one. It's perfect weather for rainbows. The sun is shining low, and rain has passed not too long ago. Well, whatever. I lower my eyes from the treetops to see the gaunt back of the girl who's climbing up the hill slowly, without losing her balance. A few steps ahead of mine on the path, but still within my reach. I don't think I could ever reach a rainbow, but reaching Rin seems less impossible than it used to seem. The clear sky greeting us from above the meadow clearing seems vast and beautiful. A strong wind is hurling the rain clouds away from the town, to the other side of the mountains in the distance. The sight is pretty, but a speck of white flies past the edge of my peripheral vision. Then I turn to look, and when I turn to look, it's already gone. Another follows, then a third. Before I realize it, dozens of almost invisible small tufts of white are flying around us. Look, the flowers. I see it now. The sea of dandelions that covered the hilltop of our last visit had changed over the days. They were bright yellow before. There's now fluffy white. Some of the flowers have already shed their seeds, but many are still waiting for a suitable gust of wind. Today, those gusts are not in short demand. Every now and then they shake the grass thoroughly, and suddenly the air is thick with dandelion seeds. One by one, the seeds separate from the flower heads and are lifted away. A commonplace event, but one that seems to fascinate Rin for some reason. She's turning her head from side to side, marveling at the change happening all around her as the seeds fly away. I watch them too, following the white tufts floating with the wind towards the horizon. I imagine that I can see them even after they disappear from my sight. Hizao? What is it? Do you love me? I snap to attention to meet her suddenly very serious face that is not only looking at the flowers anymore. What a tough question, asked just like that out of the blue. Still, her bluntness compels me to answer rapidly. I don't know, maybe I do? Or maybe too rapidly. What does that mean? I don't know. Rin sighs, perhaps unhappy with my wishy-washy answer. I would be too. Me neither. I don't think I know much about love. It's fine, isn't it? How should I know? The shrug of her shoulders seems to say, hesitating to give a firmer answer. She stays silent for only a second too long. But even that second isn't long enough for me to think ahead. I love you. Those 3 words freeze me in place like a rabbit staring into headlights. But I'm not a rabbit, and I'm just staring into Rin's eyes that seem far, far too impassive for what she just let out of her mouth. Rin looks pretty serious, though, until she sticks out her tongue, frowns a little, and confuses me even more than her words did. Why does she look mildly unhappy? It was a confession of her deepest feelings, a test to see how I would react, a test to see how she would react. It tastes weird. Tastes? Yeah, so weird. She laughs, maybe nervously, or so I want to think, but stops midway when she notices how strange it sounds. I don't know what. I don't think there is a word for this. Rin keeps on talking as though there's no meaning behind her words, steady and careless words dropping from the same tongue that form the more important ones. A word for, accept? It's like, she can't find the words. Rin just keeps staring at me, stumbling with her words, as if her brain suddenly ground to a halt. She looks awfully confused, much like how I feel right now, as I wait for her to explain. But she doesn't. She just blinks a few times, the flutter of her long lashes catching my fancy, because she looks like she is petrified otherwise, until I realized what they were fighting against. It's like those weird tears again, not associated with sadness or happiness, not pitiful sobbing nor laughter of joy. Just tears, spontaneously and without warning, like that one time in her classroom. Just a few of them. Not enough to make a fuss about, so Rin doesn't make the move to hide them even after noticing. Rin cries, looking like she has no idea why, and somehow a great uneasiness grows in my chest when I look into her watery eyes that stare back at me. It petrifies me too, the shock of the incomprehensibility of this situation. I just don't know what's happening anymore. Rin, what's wrong? She shakes her head in confusion, stumbling to get the words out of her mouth. Sorry. I might be a little afraid of you. The words are muttered slowly, with a small voice that is as disbelieving of what it's saying as I am. What? Why? I don't know. Saying that just made me feel like that. People cry when they're afraid, right? See, I can do it too. She's averting her gaze now, deliberately not looking at me. It bewilders me, at least as much as what she is saying. Sometimes with you want to run away so badly, but I can't move. It's like my legs turn into lemon panna cotta pudding. My heart feels like it's gonna explode, and she slumps her shoulders melancholically. Has this thing ever happened to you? I recall the laden sky above the frozen forest, and the sound of the leafless branches clacking against each other. It's like a memory from another life. Yeah, once. My heart hurt a lot back then, too. But I thought your thing was not contagious. I shake my head, with a tiny, slightly forced smile rises on my lips. The other ailment of my heart could very well be contagious, and I wouldn't care a bit. What are you afraid of? Never thought it was scary. Rin shakes her head desperately, as if knowing that the tangle inside her mind won't be undone with just that. It made me feel that I should be someone else than me. It's a scary thing. It happens when you're being nice to me, like yesterday. I never know what to do at times like that. It's hard. Her voice is barely audible, a whispered admission of something that is too embarrassing to even think, not to mention say aloud. Rin has never been one to be embarrassed, so she does utter it aloud, only timidly, as if by instinct. But I want to do something, but I don't know if this me can. For a moment, we just stare at each other, as if waiting for the other to say something. You are so stupid. Rin's lips taste salty and scared against mine. I grasp her into an embrace. I feel my heart thumping in my chest painfully. Even though I'm glad that she could say things like that, they made me sad after all. Rin's spirit, her passion, her strength, all those things that I hold dear are the ones I don't want to change. How should I treat them? Where are they headed to? Is that future irrevocably different from mine? That anxiety will never lose its grip on my heart. But I think I could learn to live with it. Slowly, the pain in my heart dies out, and it settles into the same rhythm as Rin's. We listen to that for a long time. For some time. After our lips break apart, it takes a while for either of us to realize that we can say something now. See? You really are a kind person, even when you are not. It's the most scariest thing ever. I think that all I would ever was afraid of was your kindness. Is it bad? Even if you are afraid? She thinks about this for a while, furrowing her brow as though this is some kind of hard math problem. No, I'm alright with it. It's fine if it's with you. Like a weight lifted from my chest. Her words elate my heart, filling it with, I don't know, happiness? What else could it be? This time my smile is genuine. Rin steps back, still smiling gently at me like I do at her. While she wipes her face on her shoulder, I pick up a round, plump dandelion clock and bring it to my pursed lips. They spread out into the wind that picks them up to carry them to a new home. To think, only a few short weeks ago they were so different. This is change. Hey, so the flowers became what they were meant to become, like you said last time. What about you? Did you become a true artist? Or did you not, because you ran away? She pauses for a while to ponder my question, and shrugs her shoulders. It almost makes me laugh. The carefree easiness of her gesture is a lovely thing, a sign of how Rin can, truly, and really without any restraints whatsoever, shed the entire weight of the world from her shoulders, should she will so. She is, in every possible, and probably a few impossible ways, free. And I think I might love her for that. I don't think it matters. Let's just watch the clouds for today. She takes 5 steps to climb on a large rock so she can rise as high as it's possible here, and stands on tiptoes. When you reach for the clouds, every inch counts. Sure, let's watch the clouds. It's good to do something you really want to do every now and then. Yeah, You're probably right. I glance upwards at the blue sky opening high above us. It's a deep cerulean vastness that spreads to fill my entire field of vision and beyond. Yet Rin stays on a rock, peering at the distant horizon where the rain clouds are drifting further away from us. I have decided something. That dreaming voice of hers, spoken to the wind that carries it to my ears, is lacking resolve in tone, but is full of it in meaning. Is it alright to be me after all? Is it alright? Her decisions always seem to be pretty far out. Well, I suppose that it's an important realization. Coming to terms with oneself, accepting yourself, being fine with what you are. A simple resolution of heart that for someone is overbearingly hard to do, if not impossible. I do realize well enough that I might also be one of those people. Rin too. Maybe we are not so different after all. Maybe to accept someone else, you must first accept yourself. Maybe that is a necessary step, which we didn't take until now. Looking at her standing on that rock, I believe that she can find whatever she is looking for. And so can I. The wind catches her hair and clothes, and Rin spreads her short arms into an embrace that is so very, very tiny, but as wide as she can ever do. For a moment, it looks like she herself might take flight, and I have to hold myself back not to reach for her shoulder, not to drag her back to me. But this picture is something I can only watch. It is something for me to remember. Ren's sleeves are flapping freely in the wind, her hair wildly tousled by it, her skin touched by the setting sun. Her sleek form that I've come to adore is quivering in the cool wind that carries the small white specks past her, each a beginning of a new flower. All that is engraved inside my heart, those tiny seeds scattered into the wind. I'm sure that Rin too can take her place in this world without the need to create her own inside of it. Maybe she believes it too, and standing as close to heaven as possible, she is giving the world a big hug. To me, it seems like the entire world really could fit there, between those small arms of hers, inside of her all-encompassing embrace. Is out. She looks at me in the same way she calls my name, carelessly over her shoulder, with a strange happiness in her voice and in her eyes. I gaze into those mysterious dark eyes that are curiously twinkling from below her auburn hair. Although I'm too far from her to see it, I'm sure they are reflecting my image. What is it? What's the word for when it feels inside your heart that everything in the world is alright? Can you seize the day? Reach Rin's good ending. Honestly, yeah, that's it. Just, I was just really feeling something there. Like, yeah, this game is really, really good. Yeah. I'm just gonna skip the credits for now because are these the same credits as the end of the Emmys route? Actually, no. I think they're different, actually. Anyways. So what do I think of Rin's route? I thought it was pretty good, honestly. Yeah, sure, I did like criticize some of it, but frankly, like, I don't think there is a purely bad route in Katawa Shoujo. It's just there are some routes I prefer more than others. Like, for example, I think not Rin's, but I think Emmy's route is one of the best. But, like, you know, I thought Rin's route was pretty solid. Like, it had most of the choices in the, you know, entire game, right? So, like, all the other routes won't have this many choices. And that's why I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do all these choices before I finish the route. So I didn't have to go all the way back and do, like, multiple episodes or something around that. So, in all honesty, I think it was pretty good. So, looking at the gallery, we have all of the CGs, like, Rin's good ending right here. So, where on Earth? Why on Earth is there like 4 H scenes? Anyways, so yeah. So basically, okay, 17 further images. All right, return. Okay, library. 48% of the entire game, right? So, Emmy's route, we have all of this done. Right? Rin's route, we should have all of it done. Yep, all of it done. So, what am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to record one more episode, right? Which is getting the extra thing I wanted in Act 1, right? Then after that, I think I'm going to be taking a break for a while and like playing another game. So yeah. Also, we do have like a chunk of scenes from Act 1 still, and yeah, like frankly, because most of these are, you know, like extra scenes that go to specific routes. Like we have like okay, there's a route where you don't. Okay, there's the Hanako route, the Lily route, the Shizune route, of course, right? So like these scenes will lead into those, but also there's like a couple of scenes that we still don't have and stuff. So basically, what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna go down Act 1. Now we still don't have 2 musics, and yep. So yeah. Well, anyways, it's been Dean the Autist. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching.